Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting, I hope so, tournament stream of the spring season, but this time we're following the professionals tournament in the round robins, and this is day 1. We are following R2K tonight as they take on H4pky and win, so they should definitely be very epic games. Now I'm gonna take away the preview. You can see my garage of my press account, and we're gonna wait for the room invite to pop up, which should be in a few minutes. In the meantime, you can get coins for this stream, and you get that by following the link in the video description, and basically make sure you logged in, that you are watching through the portal, and then you will get well, it's not Twister coins, it's Blitz spring season coins, however they call it this time. But yeah, then you can season coins, that's the word. But then you can get coins this time around. So I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this stream. I'm very certain we will have some very exciting matches, so it should definitely be fun. And yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what happens. In the meantime, I'm just gonna post the link real quick in the chat. So that people know what to do in order to get coins. And then we will see. We are currently looking at the T95E6. I absolutely adore this thing. I can't wait to have it on my normal account, because press account isn't really meant for playing much. So it's just really just to have a look at it right now. Same with the T22 medium, because I have it set to collectors. That's why you see that one too. And I really want that tank as well. So earlier today I was streaming Asia, and we saw some pretty exciting gameplay there as well. Some really nice, not necessarily positioning, but the teams were holding really well, and that was fun to see, because they were just like, okay, we're here, we got the best positions possible, and you try and take the base from us. So that was just cool. And I'm hoping that we see similar wicked things tonight on this stream with H4pky and Win. So I'm just gonna take a quick look. In about a minute or so we will have the room. And basically we're gonna be following R2K, like I said, and we're gonna be on Middleburg, Vineyards, Dynasty Spur, and Castilla, Main Rooms, and Port Bay. So Middleburg is definitely a very interesting match. I'll pull up that map once I'm in the room. And in the meantime, I'm opening a free container for probably poopsters. Yes, poopsters. And then basically we will be all set to go. Because Middleburg is not the easiest map in my opinion. It's one of the maps where in randoms it's pretty easy. There we go. Look, it's the room. And I'm readied up so that I can't miss the battle. Middleburg is one of those maps where in encounters it's pretty clear where you need to go, what you need to do. And that is a lot less clear in team battles like this, because you basically can go any which way. And in my opinion, it's always easier to have the hill and keep the hill. But at the same time, there are 2 bases downtown, and that makes it a lot harder to decide what to do on this map, because you need the base dominance, but at the same time you need good positioning. So it's definitely not an easy map to play on, I imagine, and I don't think it's an easy map to try and decide tactics for either. So we are now officially live on YouTube, and that means that we're pretty much good to go. I'm just waiting for YouTube to put me live so that I can pause the stream, because I am looking at the chat. And we have a full team from R2K. We have 4 people from H4pky, but they still have like 4 minutes before they need to be here. So they have all the time in the world. So no problems there. And just, yeah. We do see a mouse, so I think that we will be seeing some city action. We see 2 mice now on R2K's side. And yeah. It's a pretty small map all around. It's not all that easy to flank. The positioning generally leaves much to be desired in my opinion, but all the same it is quite fun, and in randoms I don't mind this map, especially if I'm in a bit of a vehicle that can move, that is a bit fast, then I definitely don't mind the map at all. So I'm quickly gonna put it up. This is what it looks like. You have, in this case, a left base and a right base rather than south and north. I will be turning this image for another time, but yeah. And we have 2 bases in town and 1 in the middle of the hills on top. And yeah, like I said, earlier today, I've seen heavies go up the hill to try and hold that. And it didn't really always work out. So I'm not sure what we're gonna see tonight. It's definitely going to be fun, I imagine, especially since this is the first official map, well, first official time in the professionals tournament, and all of that is just exciting. So I'm just gonna activate my game sounds now so that you will be hearing that as well. Sorry, got a bit of an itch in my throat. And again, if you want to get coins through there, so that you know where to watch and what to get coins. On the other hand, that does mean that you can't talk in the chat, but okay, you get coins, so you get freebies, and freebies are always fun. So in the meantime, we have R2K that has completely readied up with only 1 IS-4, 2 IS-7s, 2 mice, a 268 and a 140. And we see h4pky still changing things around a little bit, but we see 3 113s, an E50M, a 215B, another E50M, and potentially a mouse. So that should be fun to see. That's a very different lineup, with relative mobility, but not really the most mobile of tanks. Of course, we don't see a batch yet, so we know that it's not the most mobile of tanks. But they're all readied up now. We have a little more than 1 minute to go. And I can't wait. I keep saying this about every stream, but I just wish there was a button where they could just say like, yeah, we're ready, and then we just all go. Of course, I hope that they never press that button when I wouldn't be readied up yet, but still. I'm making sure that I have no maps on the screen, and that we are about as ready as we can be. Not sure how you guys like Middleburg, to be honest. In randoms, I generally just go hill, even when it's supremacy, unless I drive like a real heavy, then I will grab the base closest to me and then see if I can push through town. But yeah, it's... those are randoms, and you expect half the team and somewhere and half the team somewhere else. Same with the enemy team. But in this case, because it's a team battle and teams are coordinating and deciding what to do together, where to go together, and what needs to happen and all of that, it's quite different here than it is anywhere else. So here we go. Let's see what they do. Let's see what happens. And the honor is the cat, but the rest is all pro. It's the little things that I enjoy in life, and that's one of them. I love this it's not technically American camo, but it's so Americanish. So we see R2K definitely focusing on the city side. We have the 2 E50Ms that are going to go towards base B. We see that h4pky is definitely focusing on the hills, and that will be very interesting to see what they do. I think they're trying not to get spotted just yet. Only 1 is going into base B, and that makes sense because you generally always send someone there. But now R2K is pushing, and they've waited long enough for h4pky to more or less commit to the hills. So it will be difficult for them to come back in time to save their mouse, because now we have Zerd that is taking a shot at the mouse. The mouse fired as well, but it didn't do any damage. And now the mouse is definitely getting focused. They are trying to get that mouse out of the equation very quickly, and by the looks of it, that is going to happen before the mouse reloads. We see h4pky now turning fast to get downtown, but it did already cost him a tank, and we see more HP being lost by the 113 over there. We have the IS-7. Ooh, that is some big hits into that 113. I'm gonna take you all the way to the back so that we can see more of what happens with the 113 in a very precarious position. He can't go forwards too much, and he can't go backwards too much. We have the points advantage definitely in R2K's side, but at the same time, they both have a base, so it can go either which way. But the pressure is definitely on h4pky for this one. It's also considering the HP difference. Oof. That will not make it easy for h4pky to do much of anything, to be honest. Now we have Danik making a pretty tricky thing with the winch shooting the E50Ms as they try to shoot him. We have the one Mo that is moving in. They're all taking pretty good holding positions. h4pky is trying to decide what to do. We have Winch that is getting flanked now. Let's see how that happens. He already sees them coming. He knows that he needs to be careful. He's pulling back. R2K has pretty much the luxury of just holding. They don't need to do all that much. They just need to hold and keep themselves alive. Especially with the mouse gone. h4pky has a gun less, and that will make it all the more difficult for them. And it looks a bit like h4pky is at a loss as to what to do. We do see some shots. Ooh, that was a giant shot into the E50M there. And now the E50M is already gone before I can even say getting targeted. We have the other E50M that is not going to survive for long, especially when he drives there. I think this is a very much not a rush as h4pky envisioned it. And it's now 7-4 and it's steadily going very quickly with 8 HP left. And there he goes. And there he goes. And there he goes. And now there's only one guy left, and it's the guy that looked to be dying the quickest because he just didn't really have the positioning to work that when they rushed through town. But he's surprisingly surviving for a lot longer than I thought he would. But there he goes, and it's a 7-0. Wow. Oof. Look at that. I think h4pky really didn't expect them to rush through the town and not focus on the hill at all. And it cost them very dearly. So now we see that R2K seems to be readying up with a slightly... Ooh. Oh, the honor. He's driving my baby. We see an IS-4, a Batchat, a 140, a mouse, a Tu-95 V6, a T-57 Heavy, and a mouse. And on the other side we see potentially, well, they're still changing things around, so I'm not reading that lineup just yet. But that is definitely a very, very different lineup than before. And we could be seeing some hill actions now, but we do have 2 mice. So I'm not entirely certain what they will do with those. We have less than a minute left to go before we go into the battle, and now we have h4pky in an E50M, 3 113s, an IS-7, an STB, and an IS-4. We don't see the STB all that often, and I think that's mainly to do with that, well, it is, in my opinion, absolutely lovely in randoms. In teams battles where people shoot Primo way more than otherwise, it can be a tricky tank to drive. At the same time, it would still be my tier 10 med of choice. And that has mostly to do with the fact that it's just the gun depression. It's so good at peek-a-booming, and it has that little bit of troll turret. I'm happy to see it in game, but not as much as I'm happy to see that T95 E6. To me, that is still like the E5 used to be when it was still fun to drive and when it was epic. The Cupola is supposedly a very big weak spot, but it's also so fun to troll with it and to just get troll bounces with it. It's just awesome. And here we go. Second battle. Let's see what happens. There we go. Up, up and away. And we have the 140 that is looking at going to the base, and we see the E50M doing about the same, followed by the STB, and again h4pky is focusing mainly on the hills. But this time, so is R2K. They're all going, except for the Batchat, and I think the Batchat is not going to grab base A. He might. I think they're going to get some blind shots there. Ooh, he did reset it though. Nicely done. We see more shots going on, but now they are actually capping. And it will take that mouse ages. But in the meantime, we do have some action up here in the hills. So I'm going to take you over there. And just look at that beauty. We have the honor that now has to be careful. We have no party without me that magically managed to get away with most of his HP intact. But now h4pky has a base and R2K does not, so the pressure will be on h4pky. On R2K, sorry. We have the honor now changing positions so that Zerd can take the position that he was in. They're sort of doing like a double peekaboom. And that can work out really well because it can throw people's aim off. At the same time, the STB and the 113 are pretty much doing the same. We have the Batchat that is now capping base A, but they will probably need to make a push for base B as well, while the rest of R2K is now in the hills. And h4pky is moving into the hills, but the Batchat is not, and I think the Batchat is going to steal base B from them when he can. We have Zerd now making a push. That was a dangerous thing. He was lucky to not lose that much health. But R2K is pushing all together, and I think they know that they currently have the tank advantage here. But ooh, that was a big shot into Zerd. And now we have the mice moving in, holding. More HP being taken. Winch taking a very forward position. Not sure if that's a good call. It will be very tricky, but we have the Batchat that is sneaking up from behind, and he's gonna get some nice shots in as they are distracted by the tanks in front of them. We have the 113 that is steadily losing a lot of HP, but so is the one Mo. He's lost quite a bit of health, but Zerd did steal the base, and now R2K has 2 bases. h4pky only has 1, but this is looking very tricky because we see a lot of HP being lost and no tanks being taken out of the equation. Edgar is almost dead. We have the Mo that is almost dead. Edgar is now dead, and basically they need to take the tanks out. And we have the Batchat that is now getting rushed at by the 113, but he has a mouse as a friend to help him. And I'm going to take you a little bit here so that we can see all the action and the positions against each other. And we have now the Batchat moving around at the back. But ooh, now the mouse might be in a little bit of trouble with the IS-7 there as well. We have Zerd losing quite a bit of HP and they need to take the guns out. We have the Batchat that is flanking through the town. And it will be difficult for R2K to do it now because, well, Mo has 3 HP left to be exact. And this will be tricky. We have Winch that is now moving forwards, but that's also basically showing his weak spot. We have the Batchat that is getting shot into the 113. And they need to make this count. But that last one didn't go in. And we see that they are holding. They're all holding, but R2K does have a gun less. And a lot of low HP targets. And there goes the first gun from h4pky's side. And there goes the one Mo. He lived a lot longer than I thought he would, to be honest. But we have some very low HP targets. And basically everyone on h4pky is now a one-shot. And there goes one. We have the Batchat that is flanking. He's going to go up behind. Well, not for all of them a one-shot, but pretty much very low HP. And I think R2K is going to take this away because one more kill and they have this game. And I can't believe that h4pky didn't make the push when they had the upper hand both in tanks and in basically everything. They could have done this, and we see more and more kills, and the game only lasts until 5 seconds after the last kill. But it ends now, and h4pky has the second game. That was exciting. That didn't look to be going all that well in the beginning, to be honest. But nicely done. And h4pky, oh, I wish you made the push, because that could have made all the difference. So next map is Vineyards. Vineyards is, to be honest, one of my hang on, I'm gonna ready up first so that I will go into battle. Vineyards is one of my favorite maps in the game. I absolutely love it, especially when it has still the dusk theme going on. This is the map. We have one base in the city. We have base A for the south spawn and base B for the north spawn. Well, sort of northish and southish, but you know what I mean. And A and B are pretty well protected. You can easily cap it without getting shot at. Base C is a lot more open, but it can be held quite well. I'm gonna take it away because you probably know the map. And I will be more interested to look at the team. On R2K's side, we see 2 IS-4s, 2 top objects 263, haven't seen that one yet, an E50M, a Batchat, and a T57 Heavy. And on the other side, we see an IS-4, an IS-7, 2 113s, 2 Batchats, and a 268. So again, interesting lineup. The Yolo wagon in Clan Wars, I mean, it's not called a Yolo wagon for nothing, because you can Yolo with it and still survive. But I haven't seen him much yet, so it will be cool to see in these games and see what happens. I like when I get surprised by the tanks people pick and the things that people do in these games. That makes it all the more exciting and fun for me. So I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it as well. And here we go. I like this camo. It looks pretty. It looks like gold. So let's see what happens. There's my E6. Now it's gone. And we go up and away. See what happens. We have R2K sending a 263 and an IS4 towards base A by the looks of it. And we have the Batchats doing the same on h4pky side. The 263 stays back. But Zerd does go for base A. They will have a slight point disadvantage, but the Batchat and the E50M are going to go towards base C quite quickly, so they might get 2 bases quite quickly as well. We have the 113s that are pushing. Zerd has not yet reached base A. The Batchat has been spotted, but there's no one there. And now we see the 2 Batchats that are regrouping. They're going back, and they're probably going to go towards the city to see if they can get that Batchat out of the way. But the Batchat has a friend that's called the E50M. And the Batchats are holding back actually. They're not moving to get base C. But Zerd can't really get base A all that safely because of those 113s at the back. I'll take you over there in a little bit. But at least R2K did get a base now so that it's even, but h4pky does have the point advantage. We see the 113s that are in an excellent position to decap base A whenever Zerd might try to cap it. But it also means that 2 tanks are basically tied down. And R2K will be free to make a push, but they're pulling together. And I think we're going to see a push on this side instead. Zerd has now pulled back. They're leaving base A. I think that they're trusting that their team will keep h4pky from capping it. And we see now basically a standoff between the IS4 and the IS4 and the IS4. We see some shots being taken, but not much happening just yet. Not all that much damage has been done. We see the Batchat that is moving around. And I think they're going to go and grab base C now. We see R2K making quite an aggressive push. And the Batchats are basically being recalled and told not to. And I think that's a good call because they could clip Zerd together. And R2K is losing a ton of health making this push. And I'm not sure he's going to survive this. There he goes. But so does the 113. But Zerd is now in a lot of trouble. And there he goes. But 2 guns gone on both sides, and h4pky still has the point advantage. And they are free to grab base C if they so want. Ooh, that's some big hits into that IS-7 before he could pull back. We have Winch now going into the base. We see Mo losing quite a bit of health there. And now it's 5 versus 4. And Winch is steadily capping the base. I think that's a very good call. They kind of need to. But we see quite some aggressive gameplay. Look at this. There goes another gun. And now the Batchat is being followed and chased by... Ooh, we missed that. Sorry. The Batchat is being followed by the E50M. And he misses that. But Winch is almost reloaded. The Batchat has no chance now. Especially with the 263s coming up behind. And Winch is now reloading. But they have the time. He just needs to get out of the way so that his team can shoot the Batchat. The Batchat is now the only one left. He's going up over the hill. Batchat has almost reloaded. This is one lucky Batchat. And he's running. But he didn't make it. Rip Batchat. Again, I love this. This was very aggressive gameplay by R2K. And it worked out. I think that had they sent those Batchats to face the Batchat and the E50M straight off, it might have been quite differently. But of course they didn't know that the E50M was there as well. But lovely gameplay. 263s worked quite well by the looks of it. And that was fun. So that's the first matchup of the game of tonight already over. And I have this lovely little Excel sheet that Brian made in which I can keep score. So I'm just going to quickly do that. And let's see what happens. I'm going to see what's going on with the other teams. We don't see any scores yet. But then it always takes... What? Okay. I did not see that coming. Easy beat Raid with 3-0. That is quite amazing. So that's the first match of them. Then we have Eros versus Souls 3-0. Let's see. There we go. And last but not least, we have Win. And they're still battling it out, so we can't see that yet. So, hang on, I'm just gonna go back real quick to see when the next round is, because I have a few nice replays to show you guys. Oh look, score updated. And the next matchup is in 25 minutes. You played this way too fast, guys. But that is just... Okay. Oh, some unexpected score there. And like I said, replays. Now, I have this lovely little replay that I want to show you. And it starts some of the guys that we've just been seeing. Look at that. So we have Zerd in the STB. This is, like I said, this is my tank of choice when it comes to mediums in tier 10. Because it's just, I love the gun depression. I love how many positions it can work. It just, it's lovely. And he's following the E50M. It's not Supremacy, so quite different game mode right now. And we're gonna see what happens. He's basically going towards the same... Oh no, he's not. I was gonna say to a position that I generally frequent as well, but that's not the case now. Nice shot, but it did cost him a little bit more HP than he took. And he is turning around. A sniping batchat. Now that's something you... Well, I wouldn't say you don't see every day, but it's something that you don't want to see every day. Because really, a batchat is not made for sniping. Come on. But our STB is steadily heading towards that position. Or he's taking a camping position of him at his own. No, you can't shoot him from there. And we have the batchat that is now gonna go and come towards the STB. There goes the button. And we're gonna see some... Nice! And this is fun. The more time he leaves between shooting and rushing, the more free damage he basically gets, because the batchat can only clip him so much. And now the batchat is basically doomed. He can't really do much. He's not fired a single shot yet, but he's lost most of his HP just trying to get to the STB. And the most damage, that is the first shot that actually pens. And there he goes. So that was lovely. It didn't cost Zerd anything. Well, almost nothing. Nice barely aimed shot. And there goes the one mo. No! But he's getting some nice shots in from here. Only now the batchat wants to use the same position, and that's more of a problem. Especially since the batchat is spotted, the STB isn't. But that means that any shot fired at the batchat will hit Zerd instead. So Zerd is wise to relocate here. Ooh. Come on. This will be very tricky. Ooh, but he's not looking at him. That's good. But now it's 2 versus 5, and the last remaining tank is the Batchat. So that can really go either way. And basically it's all about getting as many shots in before they try to shoot you. Because you don't want the Jäger to shoot you. Especially now that he's a one-shot for the Jäger. Ooh. Almost. Yes, do it. There we go. And now it's suddenly 2 versus 3, and we know where the Jäger is. Jäger is in the base, trying to cap it. Nice high roll. The FV is a bit of a problem, possibly. Ooh, that bounced though. There we go. You're lucky you survived that, but there you go. We have the Jäger now turning around to face the Batchat by the looks of it. I know it's 1 versus 1. Batchat is gone already. My bad. But he's probably not sure where Zerd is going to come from. By 85, this will be a tricky reset because you have to make sure that you pen. Nice. This definitely helps. 4.8k damage already. Yeah, that has nothing to do with luck. That has to do with aiming. I always find it funny that when someone does well, it has to be luck. And when someone does bad, then it's because of the team. Oh, that might have been a little bit. But it is an STB, and it is a really cool tank. And I like that Zerd is taking his time to do this. Because basically he has the time. So he uses it. He just needs to get 2 shots in. And he's doing that very nicely. And he's going in positions where it will be pretty hard for the Jäger to get in. And he's also not bumping into corpses because you probably don't know this. But if you bump into a corpse, you're basically giving away your position. Because anyone that is seeing that corpse will see it move, even if you're not spotted. So now he has about a minute left to reposition himself elsewhere, where the Jäger will not be expecting him. And then shooting him again. The Jäger is steadily still trying to cap, and I have to admire him for that, even though he does not have the time to actually cap it. And this is a very tricky move. But a very good one, because the Jäger was looking in the wrong direction. Nice. Ah, it's not an ace, but if you see this, how can you not love the STB? Absolutely adore this tank. Base defense points, 182. In the meantime, I saw a question about whether or not a certain replay had been played yet. And yes, it has been. But that was like last week. Let's see, what else have I got for you? Because I have a few more. And we're gonna start with this one. Fancy that? It's Edgar. In the Yolo wagon. Seems only fitting that I play that now. In the meantime, for those wanting coins, you have to watch through the portal. The link is in the video description. Just follow the link, make sure you're logged in, and make sure you're on the EU server. Because that generally helps, because EU coins are only for EU, and Asia for Asia, and NA for NA, basically. And we have Edgar living up to the name of the Yolo wagon by being quite YOLO. But not going into the base just yet. He's waiting for that guy to come back. And now we have a Jaeger that is coming here. Ooh, that was a big hit to take early on in the game. Come on, you have to bounce the next one if you want to make this work. Or that works too. That works too. Oh my god, that poor Jaeger. He's gonna be pissed. So now Edgar's team has 2 bases. We see the IS-7 at the back there. Edgar's mining where everyone is. And... oops. That did pen though. And we have a Moiskin. But we first have an IS-7 that is not gonna live much longer. And this is nice, he's just using the rock to block the gun from the Moiskin. There we go, and another one dead. And another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Sorry, had to. And we see Edgar now nicely taking a shot in the side there. But he is now getting rushed a little bit. He's lost so much HP. He has 37 HP left, but he did do 4k damage. Yeah, you definitely need some help, but your friend that is right there with you has very little HP left himself. That's not gonna look good. There we go. And this is when you love that people aren't shooting HE at you when they really shoot. It's now 5 versus 3. They should have this, to be honest. And another one bounced. This is like the epitome of perfect YOLO. That's just awesome. 5.5k damage. He's still alive. 37 HP. I can't believe this. And there we go. Nearly 6k damage, 5 kills. Complete YOLO. Still survived. That was lovely. The medals don't even fit on the screen. Wow. 1565 basic XP. This almost makes me want to get the tank. Almost. Almost. I'm not really that fond of TDs anymore these days. So we still have 15 minutes, which means that I definitely can show you another one. And I'm gonna show you another one in the Yolo wagon and another one by Edgar, because that's after the last one though. I wonder if I can live up to the memory of that. But we are looking at a different camo right now. It does look good. And here we go. Let's see what he does. Barracuda has an extra E in his name for some reason. And this is gonna be even worse. This is a Yolo wagon platoon. So he's going. Oh, he's meeting like half the team. He is repositioning himself quite quickly. which I think is a very good call. Because Yolo does not mean invincible, and we see our first nice shot of damage. Are we gonna see a cheeky base B cap? Yes, we are! And he's positioning himself quite nicely. He is getting rushed from behind, so he is turning, which I think is a good call. But he might just get the base before. But the guy holds back. And that helps. Now we have this guy that is doing God knows what. Edgar is being shot in the bum now, so he does need to move. And this is a Jaeger that's not going to be much happy much longer. Because one more reload and he's gone. And he's already gone. Kill stolen. Aww. In the meantime, we see DF, the other Yolo wagon, has barely any HP left. But we saw in the last game that went quite well. Even if you have like no HP left. Nice high roll. Nice double tap as well. And now he's almost gone. And he bounces, but he doesn't bounce that one. And now it's 7 versus 4. Oh, sorry, 6 versus 4. And the T62A is not happy, even though he can't spell Barracuda right. And they're the only one to have a base. And Edgar's was the one to catch it, to grab it. Ooh, that was missed and it did cost quite a bit of health. Yolo Wagon 1 and Yolo Wagon 2 are repositioning. Not sure if they're gonna YOLO now though. Ooh, that was painful. So Yolo Wagon goes in to avenge his teammate. Going like, well, YOLO. I think that's a good call, because they need to not get shot in the bum. And yes, ram the medium, keep him in front of you. Don't let him get behind you. And there he goes. That's gonna hurt. But we're all looking at 3.5k damage. Oh, now you've done it. And his E100 friend is gonna move in and he's killing him off. And now it's 2 versus 2. But they have 2 bases, so as long as they survive, they should be alright. Nice. And that was a good bounce. That is the kind of bounce you really want to have right now. And if he hadn't moved forward, that would have been really hard for him to hit. But he just showed more of his weakness. Now this will be tricky. Yeah. Do you hold or do you push? Do you want the damage or do you want to survive? He's not a one-shot. I know you can move in now. Even if you die, it should be alright. Get a nice shot of extra damage there. And then he dies. But the ping has already been and gone. And they've won. That was lovely. That was so cool. And this is an ace, 505 supremacy points as well. But this, I think, is only a first. Oh, he didn't get enough kills. I think if he got a Top Gun, he would have probably, potentially, maybe aced it. But look at that damage, though. But those were some fun games. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So in 9 minutes the battle starts. So I'm not going to be showing you another replay in this wait, because I don't dare to. But those were definitely fun. So let's see what else is going on. We missed the result from Win before, so is that there yet? Win, where are you? I think not. I think they didn't make it. They lost to First. So First has a point versus Win, and Win does not. So those are the first matches out of the way. We have this scoreboard right now Easy, Eros, First, and R2K all have 1 point. And at the end of the day, at the end of the night, we're gonna see if that has changed. Well, of course it will change, but you know what I mean. That Yolo game, though. I can't get past that. So we are just waiting for the room now. Should be up pretty soon. 7 minutes, so like 3 minutes or so before the room is up. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick look at the map. I did mention them before, but my memory is currently incredibly crap. So I can't really remember anything. So I'm just have to wait for this to load. And then we can scroll all the way down. And we see Castilla, main ruins, and Port Bay. Castilla is definitely not my favorite map. I'm gonna call that up. Where did I leave my Castilla? I know I have it somewhere. There it is. Here we go. This is Castilla. Castilla has, of course, the Citadel in D2. We have base A, which is the mad base. Base C, which is the heavy base. But basically no one wants to go there because it's completely open and can get shot from pretty much everywhere. And we have base B that is in a line of fire from several camping positions and several pushing positions. So basically you don't want to be there either unless you know exactly where the enemy is. Base A is in that way the safest way to go, and I always feel that from the south spawn it is a bit stronger because it has a little bit of cover. But from the other side you can go up the Citadel and you can overlook base A very easily then. And the campers all the way at the back can get quite a few shots in. So it should be fun to watch them play that. Team battles on this map are always interesting, mainly because you never know what they're going to do. They can do anything. Only the main problem is always which base to go for and who you're going to meet there. Because in randoms, I generally always go to base A with my mediums. Or if I'm a super heavy, I go to base C and I overlook base B and don't go actually into base C because I want to live. And just, yeah. So after Castilla, like this is what I mean. My memory is like completely destroyed. I did already mention what map it was. And I don't know anymore. So now I'm just gonna have to look again. I really should just be making these notes beforehand. So that it works better. Main ruins, that's it. And then Port Bay. Main ruins I actually like. It's a fun map. I have that somewhere here as well. Let me find it. There it is. Main ruins has base A as heavy base. Base B in the middle, which is like anyone's game. But it's very hard to get or to decap once it's been capped. But if you can get a cheeky early cap, that can work out really well. And at the same time, you have base C, which is the medium base. And for positioning wise, on this map, it really depends on what I'm driving as to where I go. I absolutely like base C when I'm in any fast sort of vehicle. But if I'm in a really heavy or a super heavy or anything that is slow, I will want to go base A and then move on from there. So again, it's very team dependent. You can't do anything on a basic. You can do anything on any map as long as you're a team. And that makes it so hard to guess where they're going to go, what they're going to do. It's easy to read the battle and to say this needs to happen once they're in the battle. But beforehand, I can't really tell you what they're going to do because I don't know. I can only tell you what I would do. And we've seen quite often before that there are interesting tactics in these Clan Wars kind of things. And it's a lot of fun. So that's it. And after that, we might get Port Bay. I have that somewhere as well. I have too many images in this thing. There we go. This is Port Bay. Port Bay, base A in the port, base B in the middle, and base C, which is basically on the medium side. But even in Supremacy and even in team games, I would always have the preference for base C, and that's everything to do with the fact that it's easier to keep the high ground than it is to take the high ground, and base C is elevated from the rest. Base A, however, is quite a bit off in positions. So, who knows, base B is pretty much open. There's a few spots where you might be able to safely cap, but it very much depends on where the campers of your enemy team are and what they're overlooking. So basically that's it for these maps. And that means I'm gonna have 5 minutes in the room to chat about pretty much nothing. I am gonna quickly talk about the fact that the room is up, so I'm gonna go there. And we have R2K already completely readied up. We see the Yolo wagons are back, together with the 268. We have a Batchat, an E50M, an IS-7 and an IS-4. And on win side, we see an E50M, 2 IS-4s, 2 AMX 50Bs, a Batchat and a 268. This is pretty much the same lineup I saw them use earlier this week when I streamed Eros versus Win for a position in this, well, one of the Eros teams, I should say, for a position in the professionals tournament. And they did some pretty interesting stuff there too. I'm just gonna post a link again. Even though it's already in the video description, but still. They did some really cool things there, and those AMXs together, if they focus fire on someone together, it's just absolutely evil. And I quite like that. I quite like looking at that, to be honest. It makes it fun battles. So in a minute and 40 seconds we are gonna go into the battle and see what they're gonna do on Castilla. I actually like when teams have a sort of general lineup that will work for pretty much any map, or that they can work with in any map. Because then if you're not sure what you're gonna do, you just do that and then you play from there. A little more than a minute to go. I just want to go already. Gonna be fun to see what they do with these TDs, because 3 TDs is quite a bit risk. Even though on Castilla it might just work, but there's so many camping positions, and there's so many camping positions that your enemy team will already know about. And especially with the clippers and everything. I'm not sure how this will go, but we'll see. I've been very surprised before about results, so why not? And of course, R2K didn't get this far by having no clue, so they must have something in mind. 35 seconds left to go before we go into the battle. In the meantime, I see a lot of, like, people talking in other languages. I don't know what you're saying, to be honest, so I can't respond to anything you say. 17 seconds. There we go, countdown clock has started. And here we go. Aw, look at my corpse. Poor thing. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that. So we have the Batchat that is going towards base A. We have the E50M doing the same. We have the E50M on the other side together with the Clippers, which I think is a good call because mediums are always easier to eat up than any other kind of tank. But they're not going to go for base A. I think they might have a free cheeky cap. But they're not going for it. They don't really want to cap anything yet until they know where the rest is, I think. We have the E50M that is cheekily hiding between the buildings. And might just be able to cap... Ooh, he did get spotted there though. But so did the Batchat. No damage has been done yet. But we might see... That did cause a reset. We have the 263s that are behind there. We see the Batchat taking a little bit of damage, but not too much. We have the 268 that is taking some damage. Basically, there are shots being taken, but they're not too bad. We have the Batchat that is going after the E50M potentially, but not, maybe not. And we see Danik in the middle. Zerg chasing off the Batchat, which means that Danik can more or less cap in peace. And the IS-4 lost quite a bit of health trying to decap that, but he is managing to decap it. And now we see Oliva taking some big hit. And we have Danik pulling back, but it costs the IS-4 quite some health. But at the same time, There's not too much difference, and it's actually Win that has an HP advantage right now. So we have now No Party Without Me that is capping base C, which I think is a very tricky move. We have the AMXs that are pulling back. We have the Batchat and the 268 that are going up the Citadel together. But I think we have Win that is preparing for a push. And No Party Without Me is going to be in a lot of trouble when they do. I'm just going to take you over there as they do it, because you see them, they are moving, but they're not really waiting for each other. It's not really a committed push just yet, and they will be seen beforehand. Zerd is spotting them all. He knows that they're there. He is taking some shots. No Party Without Me is going to be gone pretty quickly, I believe. But the 263s are taking some nice shots into the AMXs that are blocking each other, which does not help. And both teams lose a tank for that. But there's a lot of HP being lost by Win by that push, and I think that has everything to do with the fact that they didn't commit. Zerd is going to take out that AMX, then he's going to go after the Batchat. I think the IS-4 will not be able to do much for him, but he does have a TD behind him, so Zerd is not going to make it. There he goes, but both teams have lost 2 guns so far, and R2K has 2 bases. We see the one Mo that is losing HP, and Oliwa just took a giant hit. So that's not looking good. We have the Honor that is nice shot there, and there goes Oliwa, and now it's 5 versus 3 with 2 bases in R2K side, and HP wise it's pretty much the same, but it will be very tricky for R2K because now it's 4 versus 4, and there's one poor Danique that has very, very, very little health left. But we see Edgar that is going to go down, and I think we're going to see an HG shot in the bum there. Not in the bum, but still a nice shot. And he manages to not lose HP for that. We have the Batchat that is going after. We see now that Danique is going to cap base B after all. That is very, very cheeky. We have the Honor that is holding. We see another lineup. But now he does take damage for it. But the IS-4 took more damage. And now R2K has 3 bases. They just need to survive. Not sure what Winch is doing there. That is very, very dangerous that he does. Especially with the 268 looking at him. But he's still alive. Or no, he's not. And now it's 3 versus 2. And this will be just... Danique, don't do anything. Just live. Just live. If you die, it can be very troublesome. We have the Batchat that is running away, but they're already 900 something points. Danique, you have to be careful because he's coming. And there he goes. But again, they have 3 bases. They just need to survive a little bit longer. There goes the Batchat. 1k points. R2K has it. But that was a fun game. That was cool. That could have gone either way for quite a while. But I think that what cost them the game was when Win started pushing, they didn't push all together. The Batchat and the IS-4 were there before the AMXs. And that cost them precious health and precious time. And they got spotted way beforehand. So now we see tanks changing a little bit. We have on Win side, we see an E50M, 2 IS-4s, a Batchat, a 268, and potentially 2 113s. And on R2K side, we see an SDP, an E50M, an IS-7, an IS-4, a 268, a Batchat, and a Grill. And that's like no double tanks. Just the same. That's fun. Just the all different tanks. That don't see that often either. Mostly people will dominate with either 113s or IS-4s or Batchats or whatever. So in just under 1 minute, we're going to go into the battle again, and we're going to see what they do on Castilla this time. So now we just wait. Everyone is ready. And they are going to go with 2 113s. 113, I haven't seen that much this time around. It is used. But, I mean, like last Twister, there was just like complete gluttony of the tanks. Of the 113s. And now you see IS-4s all around, basically. And Win is doing both a little bit tonight. Grill always find a tricky choice because it's lovely. It got about laser accuracy. But at the same time, with on a map where all the positions are known, it is not necessarily a tank I would take. I think that the 268 performs better then. And that's why probably I see a lot of 268s these matches. So let's see what they're gonna do. And we see R2K that is focusing a bit on all sides again. And we have Win pretty much doing the same, but they're focusing, they're leaving base A by the looks of it. R2K taking holding positions, overlooking positions, camping positions, first shots being taken, first damage being done. Zerd in the adamant. That might just be meeting. Ooh, there goes the first HP damage done. And that is quite a bit of damage to be taken that early in the game. But still, Win has an HP advantage. And Zerd has been undamaged so far. Not sure how he does that. Now he's not no longer, but we see them focus firing both on those two tanks. And he's in a pretty good position because they can't really do all that much there to him. And he's bouncing shots. I love it. We see some shots being taken from the middle. The IS-7 making a move. But it is costing him. The 268 has been spotted. He does take a lot of damage. Look at this HP just being bled. But now Zerd has taken quite a bit of damage. And he might just die for this. He is now a one-shot and there he goes. But look at the damage that it took. That Win took basically trying to do that. And they both lost the tank. But the stance is quite different and it will be hard for Win to make a move. At the same time, Lasery is sneaking up on Edgar. The Batchat is versus Batchat. And they need to be careful. Edgar's playing it sneakily. The Batchat is... The Honor has to move and hug the side to survive. He can't do that. He's reloading now. Base B is being taken. We have the 1 Mo in the 268 that is coming to help. And in the meantime we see the Grill versus the Batchat and the 113 together with the IS-7. And the Honor just drowned himself. That is not something you want to see happen. Oof. But we see the 113 that is almost dead. We have the 268 that is now pushing together with Edgar on the IS-3. We have Winch losing a ton of HP quite quickly. And R2K has a tough job now. They do have a base, but they're losing a lot of tanks and a lot of guns quite quickly. And this can go either way. IS-4 versus IS-4. Ooh. That did take a gun. Now it's 5 versus 4. Well, 5 versus 3, I should say. Sorry, the Honor is no longer in the game, but it looks like it. And there he goes. And now it's 3 versus 4. They do have a base. And they need to just survive. They have the bases. Well, they have the base. If they survive, if they cap this base, it will be quite tricky. But at the same time, we have the Batchat that is sneaking up on the IS-4 there. And the E50M will be in a lot of trouble for that. Danik is not looking good. He's not going to survive this. But R2K does have the bases. And we now see the 1 Mo that is going after the Batchat. They need to take the Batchat out of the equation. But that's going to be quite risky to do it. And... ooh, that was tricky. There goes Danik. And it does cost the 1 Mo some health. And it might cost him a lot more when he passes there. Ooh, but that was lucky. And now they just need to hold. We have a very low HP, well, very low HP tanks all around, to be honest. But they have the bases. And if they take out that Batchat, their chances might just improve a lot. And And Wind knows they have to make a move. At the same time, R2K knows where they're most likely to go. They have a point advantage of about 300 points. And I think Rambo is definitely going to go for base A. And they're both looking in different directions. They have to make a move. And even if he grabs base A, they still have a lot of point advantage. Still will be hard. They don't really have the time to do that. But the one-mo needs to be careful that he doesn't get shot in the bum too much. With the batchet that is over there. And Edgar is almost dead now. And he's not in a good position. He might not survive this. They are grabbing base A. But Edgar is in a very precarious position. This could go either way. And it will be interesting to see what they do. They're going to go over the hill. And the one Mo is focusing on the other 268. If you can take him out, it might help. Ooh, Edgar. Not sure what point I want you to see. I want you to see all of it, to be honest. And there goes Edgar. And now it's only the one Mo. But they're almost at 900 points. They are taking base B though, and that is not a good thing. He has to make a move. He has to take a few tanks out of the equation. He does have the time for it, so he should be patient. But what do they do? Mo has to make a move. He can't stay there. Whew. There's only 25 seconds left. No! That was so close. If he had just survived for 17 more seconds, they would have had the game because they would have had the points. And I think that the Honor drowning himself cost R2K this game. I can't believe that happened. Very nice damage by Rambo. And those shots into Edgar in base B made all the difference. So I'm just reading up. We're now moving to Mayan Ruins. And I wonder how much cussing is going on in R2K's voice chat. Or at least how much cussing there was going on in R2K's voice chat when the Honor drowned. Because we know that he can be a bit colorful in his language. Let's put it that way. Just taking a sip of drink because all this talking makes my throat dry. And now we have on Wind side, for Mayan Ruins, we have 2 E50Ms, 2 IS-4s, a Mouse, a Batchat and a 268. And on R2K side we see an E4, 2 140s, 2 113s, an IS-7 and IS-4. So that's a bit of everything. Basically both teams have a bit of everything. I can't believe, honestly. But yeah, that was a very close call and very cleverly played by Wind. They had to make a move and they made exactly the right move. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So now in 30 seconds we're gonna go into the game. We're gonna see what they're gonna do. And we're gonna go to a different map, so that at least takes the stain away. I always, for me, not that they've lost, none of these teams have lost 2 times, but when I have some hard losses, I always change tiers and change tanks, because once you basically have to do something over and over again, and it doesn't work out, you start getting really frustrated. And I think that would be the same in this case. So I think it's good that we go to a different map where I believe you can't drown yourself. So we go up, up and away. My tank goes up in smoke, quite literally. And we have R2K that is focusing completely on the heavy side. Or at least not on the base C side. And we have the E50Ms that are looking at base, towards base C, but not doing anything yet. I think they're just ready to move in if they need to. And we have no party without me that is all alone and doing quite an aggressive push here. If he gets away with that, well, he's getting HE'd already. If he gets away with this, that would be very awesome. The question is, will he? Not just a tiny bit of HP, but he is occupying people. And he does keep trying. R2K now has a base. We have Win that is moving around towards base C to grab it. And that missed, and now R2K will have 2 bases, and they will have the base that is hardest to cap. And of course Win will grab a base as well. But it will be interesting to see. We have the 140s that are moving around going back. And we have no party without me that is still in a bit of a precarious position. We have Zert that is overlooking things downtown. And over here at base A, we have blind shots being taken. Lasery taking a big hit there. Zert taking some damage. And now we play the waiting game. We have the 140s. This is going to be interesting. E50Ms facing 140s. There we go. You need to move, Winch. Ooh. Lasery is almost dead. We have the 140s that are now turning around to deal with the E50Ms. Or not quite. They're not quite sure what they're doing. What they're gonna do. We see the mouse facing off towards Zerd. We have the IS-7 holding off to IS-7s. We have the one Mo that is Hing one of the IS-4s. And we have the 268. No party without me is steadily losing HP. He can't really do much about that. He's not going to survive that, but it has cost Win quite a bit of points and quite a bit of HP. We have the Batchat now moving in, and there goes no party without me. And now we have the Batchat that is turning around to deal with the E50Ms and the Batchat that is there. Batchat has to be careful because he's of course he's gonna get focused because he's a Batchat. Ooh. Shots being taken all around. Very low HP targets on Win's side, but the kills are not being made, and now Winch is in a lot of trouble. Win has taken base B, but R2K definitely has the point advantage. If they make the kills, they can get away with it. But it's the kills thing that has to happen for this to work. And we are at 980 points, and they are capping base A. They need one more kill in order to make this work. And that will be tricky. Oliwa is the obvious choice. 20 points left. 113 is in trouble here. We have Zert that is going into base B now. Danik is not going to make it. But we have the E4 and the 140 that are moving in. And there we go, 1-on-1. And there we go, 1k points and last tank dead. That was an amazing game, guys. Honestly, really cool. Again, this was one of those games that for quite a long time it could have gone either way. And then at the end it just didn't happen. So we got a second battle on Mayan Runes now. And Yolo is moved out. And we got General in the AMX-50B. Ooh, look at this. We have R2K in 4 AMX-50Bs, an IS-4, an IS-7 and a 215B. This is going to be all about the focus fire. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite an aggressive push. And on the other side we see 4 IS-4s, a Batchat and 2 E50Ms. Those E50Ms are on Win's team quite a lot, and they've done quite some epic things in the battles that I've seen of them so far. Not just today, but earlier as well. So we have less than 1 minute left to go. I'm gonna have a look, make sure that I have nothing on the bet, but you would have complained already if that had happened. So 40 seconds left to go. And these are exciting matches. Honestly, like I have said this before, I love this. I love the competitive gameplay. I love seeing what people do. I love seeing the focus fire and the teamwork. And as weird as it sounds, I love seeing where things go right and where things go wrong. Because that's basically what I do with all this commentating. I say what has to happen, what they're doing, and what they have to do. Because, like, when one team has the advantage, the other team has the disadvantage. They have the pressure of having to change something. So here we go. Now everyone is a pro. Up and away. And we have R2K moving towards the middle and to the left. No, I think they're going exclusively towards the middle. And Win, I think, is making a very good move by sticking together this time around. Especially with all those older loaders, all of them using speed boost to get somewhere. And waiting for each other. The AMX are sticking together like glue. And we have No Party Without Me again making the cheeky cap move into the middle. We have one of the AMXs that has been spotted. Damage being done now. And I wonder if he's going to do a clip reload or not. He is now. Win is grabbing base A. R2K grab base B. And we see some shots being taken. Shots fired, but Lasery is coming up behind them. And I'm not sure if they're expecting that. He has been spotted now, but Edgar is making his long reload. We have Winch that is in a precarious position over there like that. But R2K has a slight point advantage. We have the AMXs now all pulling together. I'm curious to see what they're going to do now. It's a bit of a stalemate right now. We see some shots being taken here and there, but nothing too fancy, nothing too much. We have the Batchat that is going around. He might be going towards the back, where he will meet potentially the AMX 50B here and Zerd, if he tries to cap. And we have R2K that is supporting each other. But they're not taking any unnecessary risks. The Batchat is moving around. He's hanging out at the back, facing off against an AMX 50B. One Odegon versus the other. We see some shots being taken, some shots being fired. Not much HP being lost. R2K does have the point advantage, but it's not a very big point advantage. It's one tank difference and then it doesn't matter. Neither AMX 50B nor Batchat are actually shooting. And everyone is just holding, trying to get some damage in, but not much damage being done. Still no shots being taken over there. We have the E50M that is going to help now. And I wonder what that means for the guys in town. E50M has not been spotted yet. Zerd is making a move. First shot being taken into the Batchat. Zerd is pushing up with No Party Without Me. I think they're going to take out one of the guys up there. And Danik is already reloading his clip. I think that's a very clever move, because they probably think that he still has 2 shells left in his tank. That is cheeky. We have General that is ready to support whenever and whoever. We have Yaska that is making a move. Winch that is losing HP. And we have Yaska that is losing a lot of HP. General that is now in the long reload. The Batchat and the E50M that are now moving up. But the AMX has turned around. They're focus firing on the guys in the middle. So I think the AMX might be dead soon. There he goes. 2 guns gone on Win's side, but No Party Without Me is almost dead. And the AMXs will have their clip reloads pretty quickly. They need to take the guns out of the equation to make this work. But 3 tanks gone already. We have the IS-4 here in the middle. That is almost dead. We have Oliwa that just died. And Zerd that is bouncing. AMX 50B that is still alive versus the E50M. We have Torpedo Killer that just died. Danik just went down. Rambo just went down, and now it's only Almeri that is still alive. Again, looked for a stalemate a very long time, and then they just move in, and it just doesn't work out. And I think it's the one Mo. Oh, it's Winch actually that gets it. This was a bit slower paced than the last two battles, but no less exciting and no less fun. So with that, R2K has won from win and gets a point. So I'm just going to fill that into the schedule. And I'm going to see how everyone else is doing. We might not know yet. Eros has 2 points. Let's see what happened there. 3-0 against Raid. What is up with Raid? And Raid versus Eros. There we go. First has 2 points. They won against Easy with 3-1. First against Easy. And the last one we don't know yet. We don't know what Souls has been doing yet. Let's see if it shows. They won with 3-0 from H4pky. So that's basically we already all have all the results tonight. That has been going quite quickly then. So that is all the scores for tonight. I don't even need to show you another replay to wait for the results and see what happens then. In the meantime, I see Honor being roasted in the chat by Zerd. Okay. But yeah, that is it for tonight then. I will be back in about little less than 6 hours for the NA stream. For those that want to watch, again, you can get coins there if you're on NA. And basically, this is it. We currently have the standing of... I'm just gonna... No, wait, that's the wrong one. The current standing, as it is Eros first, R2K, and with 2 points, and Easy with 1 point, and Souls with 1 point. So these have been some interesting matches. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the very interesting gameplay, for letting me commentate and everything. And I'll be seeing you guys either tonight or tomorrow at 1 PM CEST for the stream for Asia again, or at 8 PM tomorrow evening for the stream of the EU again. And then we're gonna see, let me see real quick which one that is. Oh Lord. My browser's not working with me. Tomorrow I'm gonna stream. That will be R2K versus... It is not loading, sorry for the wait. Tomorrow I have R2K versus Souls and R2K versus Easy. So those should be really fun games as well. Again, thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night!